Yo, what's going on guys, Khraze here, welcome back to Marvel's Avengers, and today we have some really huge news about the upcoming Hawkeye DLC and of course the first release of Kate Bishop. We have this brand new blog post over from Crystal Dynamics that explains everything about the timeline, when things are going to happen, when we will get a new update. Spoilers alert, there's going to be a small little delay for the first part of the Hawkeye DLC, but it's not going to be too long and I will talk about that in just a little bit. There's also talks about a PS5 upgrade for free for Marvel's Avengers, and of course we also have some free new rewards from the developers coming in fresh in just a few days. So let's jump right into it, and as always, a thumbs up on this video would be super appreciated. Now let's begin with the appreciation package over here from Crystal Dynamics. We are getting a bunch of goodies that should help you out quite a little bit. So beginning with 10 AM PDT October 22nd, which is basically going to be next week on Thursday, players will receive a digital thank you bundle which includes 1500 credits, which are enough to get you a legendary skin and a nameplate from the market, or you can simply just keep them for example future challenge cards for other heroes. Also 7000 units, which I believe are enough for one single suit, a legendary suit from the shop vendor, 250 upgrade modules, 20 DNA keys, which actually sounds really interesting, and a Sarah Garza inspired nameplate, because seriously you're the best. So there it is, there's the appreciation package, and this bundle will be available from 10 AM PDT October 22nd up until 10 AM PDT November 5, so you can log in even once and you will get that appreciation package. Now there's some other talks about the upcoming content in Marvel's Avengers, so let's talk about that. Of course, recently we had patch 1.3.3, which includes quite a number of really nice changes. We've talked about these yesterday, so I'm not going to go over that anymore, but they are talking about some upcoming changes in possibly a really early update. So one of them is the ping system, a system that will allow players to mark objectives, resources, health crates, and enemies, allowing players to command AI companions to hack, smash doors, or prioritize specific enemies, which actually sounds really amazing. We've talked about this since the beta. Of course, we also have Reassembled campaign replay, so kind of like a new game plus, but not really. It's an option to reset the Reassembled campaign and replay it with your superhero's level and gear intact, so that actually sounds really interesting. I cannot wait to replay it, but with more powerful characters. And there's also like talks about high contrast mode, some talks about hero icon visibility, but more important, for mission reward clarity. So they will improve the clarity around mission specific rewards when you view them in the ward table, and this will allow players to more strategically take on missions to meet their current goals and seek out specific gear and resources. And finally, there's also off-screen and ranged enemy attack indicators, which are going to be made so that they give better feedback for players to avoid off-screen and ranged enemy attacks, because we already know how crazy those spin enemies really are. And there's also talks about some of the stuff that they have implemented in update 1.33 and some of the upcoming stuff for matchmaking, rewards, and late game content. But here is on the late game content, because this is, I believe, the one that is more important. So for the mega hives, at the very least, as per community's request, they are actually working on implementing a working multiplayer for that game mode over there, but that will come in several months, so hopefully it's going to happen sooner rather than later. But I am glad that they are considering adding that multiplayer for the mega hives and make it that much better. Now on the subject of rewards, the upcoming AIM cloning lab will guarantee an exotic drop for the first completion per week and a notable chance of exotic drops for subsequent runs. You should also feel that exotic drops are more unique to late gameplay, and if you played through like the Tekken Rifts, or for example if you played through some of these, for example priority villain sectors, you might realize that you got some really nice exotics from them. I've covered this in yesterday's videos, so again I'm not gonna go over that again, but there's a bunch of other changes coming in moving forward with the matchmaking. For example, their philosophy for the multiplayer improvements is to rework the way they group up players. So the goal is to draw from a larger pool of online players and provide faster ways to jump into desired content. This will help with quicker matchmaking, so you can get to the fun way faster. We are also exploring ways to better make use of the quick match feature with greater rewards for joining in to help others and whatnot. So this actually sounds really exciting. Of course, also expect a lot of performance and stability changes as we move through the content, but this is already a given. given. Now this brings us to a brand new type of endgame activity that Crystal Dynamics also wants to add in the game in the upcoming weeks, which is something called Omega level threats. So in the next few weeks we will introduce a new mission classification to Marvel's Avengers, which are the Omega level threats. Missions under this category umbrella are multiplayer focused challenges that are tuned for high-end players and offer special late game rewards. This type of content will obviously require a lot of skill and coordination from your entire team, but they are also said to be on the level of raids or the equivalent of raids for Marvel's Avengers. So yes, they will be focused on playing in multiplayer co-op. They are designed to be extremely challenging, so you will have to have both good gear, very well prepared characters, but also a very good party to actually push through this. And this represents their first step in escalating the challenge for your superhero phase. As the Avengers Initiative narrative continues to unfold, the stake will get higher and the challenge is harder. So this actually sounds really interesting, and this first part is going to start actually with the AIM cloning lab. But this brings us of course to the future of Marvel's Avengers content, and of course that Hawkeye DLC. And here is the first detail about the upcoming Hawkeye DLC, and its first part with the introduction of Kate Bishop. So moving forward, we intend to have a fixed, predictable patching cycle to ensure all new content meets both our and your high standards and has time for extensive internal testing. We know fans are hungry for new content, but delivering a fun experience is our priority. With this in mind, they have decided to push the Kate Bishop update, or well, her operation launch, back a little bit out of the month of October. So previously it was supposed to release at the very end of this month, but it looks like it's going to probably coincide with the launch of the new generation of consoles, especially with the PlayStation 5, so it's likely that we will see it around the 10 or the 12. But let me know down below what is your opinion on all of this, because personally I would much rather see an update being released in a proper state rather than having it broken on launch and then having a few more weeks to actually get it fixed. So I would much rather play in a working good update that actually lets me just enjoy the new content, and that is pretty much it. But again, leave your comments in the comment section down below. Now, Kate's new operation will be a must play for fans wanting to know what's next in the story. So this story is going to continue from the conclusion of the Reassembled campaign. Later on it will introduce Clint in the second part of the update, and I believe that this is all we're gonna get in terms of new characters in 2020. And then, as they've mentioned, in 2021 there's going to be their biggest Avengers Initiative edition yet that will introduce a brand new hero, region and narrative arc. And I'm pretty sure that this is all about Black Panther. He was supposed to be shown in a previous War Table event, and of course there's also data mines about a Wakanda region, so I'm actually really interested in this one. Now, we did talk about the PlayStation 5, so let's go over that PlayStation 5 and of course its future upgrade. And yes, they have fully decided to support the game for free and give it a free upgrade to the new generation of consoles, so both for the PS5 as well as for the Xbox Series X and S. From the looks of it, it seems that the free upgrade to the next generation is going to happen sometimes in 2021, but in the meantime, don't worry, you can still play the game on the next gen of consoles through forward compatibility, and you will get quite a number of improvements, from improved frame rates, faster loading times, better graphics, and all that kind of good stuff that I actually cannot wait to test out. So once I get my console, I will definitely drop a video for you guys. Nonetheless, this is it with the news. Don't worry, there's still a lot on the way until the Kate Bishop DLC, so until then we should still see some brand new content and quite a bit of stuff to do in the following weeks until we get the Hawkeye update. And of course, as always, I will keep you guys updated on the current state of the game. Now, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by commenting, leaving a like on this video and subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys in a bit.